All right, today for lesson 3, you're going to be working on lists and links. So those make websites easier to scan and more trustworthy. So lists, we have two different kinds of lists. Unordered list, which means there's no there's no one, two, three, or four or whatever, and then we have an ordered list. Today we're going to be talking about unordered lists. So these are great for facts, awards, or quotes. Unordered lists use two different kind of tags. So you have to have a tag that opens the list, and you have to have a tag that closes the list or opens the list items. All right. So for a list, we have, and we're just going to put this inside of our career for right now. We're going to have UL is unordered list. So you see it opened it and it closed it. So I'm just going to put a couple of lines in there just for me. Because again, remember that HTML doesn't read our white space. Now I'm tabbing into, on line 18 here, I'm tabbing into the list. It doesn't matter because it doesn't see our blank spaces, but it just helps me as the programmer read it, or somebody that's trying to debug my code for me or help me with my code. It helps them see where things are. Then the tag for a list item is LI, and then it automatically opens it and closes it. So I'm going to put some of my grandma's favorite quotes on here. One of them is, it's an awful thin sheet of paper that don't have two sides. Okay, that just means there's two sides to every story. And then another one of my favorite quotes of my grandma is going to be another list item, and it's going to be, only bit dogs holler. And that means if you weren't guilty, you probably wouldn't be so upset. So we have our unordered list opened and closed, opened on line 17, closed on line 20, and then we have two list items. So at this point, you can pause the video and add an unordered list and a couple of list items to your starter code here in JuiceMind. You're going to also need to go back in and change your page title and your heading and the biography and the career. Go ahead and add all that back in from lesson 2. You could even copy and paste it from your final project page, but I'm not sure. All right, and then the next thing is a link. So you're going to have some links in your pages because your people are actual celebrities. I don't have a link necessarily for my grandma, so I'm just going to have to find a link to potentially put in there for y'all. I'm going to maybe see if there's a Wikipedia page about grandmas. You can fast forward through this part if you need to. All right, so I think I might have found one. Grandparent. We'll just go with grandparent. We're gonna link in our grandparent Wikipedia page. All right, so links use anchor tags. The text between the tags should describe where the link goes. For example, this is how it's going to look. All right, it's going to be, this is the tag to put in a link. All right, href means reference to the website. And so I'm just going to copy and paste my really long link in there. Hopefully yours are not that long. All right. That actually needs to be inside of quotation marks. And then it kind of closes it, but then it said I'm going to have a text there that you actually click on. So we're not going to have this really long URL that shows up on our web page. Our web page is going to just show us Wikipedia. Okay. So now if we run that, hopefully we're going to see our list items. It's an awful thin sheet of paper that don't have two sides and only BitDogs Holler. And then we also have Wikipedia. And if I click on that, it takes me to that Wikipedia web page where you can read all about being a grandparent. Okay, so for today, you're going to add one list with at least 3 items, and you're going to add one working link to a reliable source for your celebrity. So if you were doing Taylor Swift, you can use Wikipedia as one of your, I think you have to have 3 sources, one of your 3 sources. You probably should use Taylor Swift's actual webpage for your reference as well, if that's who you're doing. So that's it for today's video. Good luck on your lists and your links.